thing where I saw it, like just a few days after that, she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, it felt so bad. Like, Brooks is like, Miss Johnson's getting pulled over. She's like, no. You want to get down now? Ready?
Hey, EJ. EJ.
Are they warmer now?
But, yeah. Yeah, but.
There you go.
Oh.
At this time, I'd like to introduce a local veteran who's going to be our speaker today, Gary Borbo. Gary was born in Greenfield, Mass. in 1951. He was raised and attended the Turner's Falls school systems, and then he went directly into the military. He enlisted in the Army on August 29, 1969, when we were going through the process. Gary was only 17 years old. And Gary, I was only 5 months old.
When you went in?
Gary spent 2.5 years in the Army. 1 year and 4 months of that time, Gary was overseas in Vietnam, which means he voluntarily extended his tour in Vietnam, as the tours back then were about a year. Gary's specialty in the Army was a 44C welder blacksmith. He obtained the rank of Specialist 5 before discharge. Gary was decorated with the following medals, badges, citations, and campaign ribbons. He has the National Defense Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal, 2 overseas service bars. For every 6 months you're overseas, you get a bar. And was awarded the Expert Rifle Medal, which means Gary could shoot. Gary today is still the active Guild Church pastor, going on your 29th year, correct, Gary? Correct. Yep. And they also host the annual Guild Memorial Day ceremony, along with his wife Marie, who is the committee chair. They get help from their fellow members, Doug Smith, Elaine Smith, and Tony Zanger, all of Guild. They also replace all the American flags each year at the grave sites in Guild. And as a Guild resident, I personally thank them for doing that and honoring our Guild veterans. At this time, Gary, it's all yours.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you all for being here. It's been noticed by some of us that were in the parade that the weather is a little bit different this year than it was last year, at about 50 degrees. And so Chris was the keynote speaker at our Memorial Day service in Gill this year. And what a trade-off. I think it was about 65 and sunny over there for him, and a little bit different for me over here. Thank you again. This is a tremendous honor to see all of you here and to be able to speak at this. I solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, so help me God. This is the oath that all veterans had taken upon entering the service. Some of us were drafted, some enlisted, some of us went in the Army, go Army, some in the Navy, some in the Marine Corps, go on. Some in the Air Force or the Coast Guard, and now at some point we're going to be celebrating veterans who served in the Space Force. Some stayed in longer than necessary, than they had to. Some of us were discharged sooner than expected. We served across the country and around the world. And during the earliest years of our adult lives, and we grew up quickly. We all have a different story to tell, and yet we share the significant experience of answering our country's call and wearing the uniform, whether green or blue or white. This is a year of anniversaries, as was already pointed out to me. Yesterday was the 250th birthday of the Marine Corps. Every time I say Marine Corps, right, they're going to do that. The Army was born in June 1775. The U.S. Navy, October 1775. It's been 250 years since Lexington and Concord. Bunker Hill. The Second World War ended 80 years ago, and Vietnam 50 years ago. I enlisted in the Army when I was 17, as was mentioned by Chris. Went to NCO school, where I was promoted to Specialist 5 in 9 months, and at 18 and a half was assigned the Commander of Relief of the Guards in a combat zone. I was discharged at 20 years old after serving 2 years, 5 months, 22 days, and 3 hours and 22 minutes, but who was counting? Many have thanked me for my service on Memorial Day, and while I appreciate the gesture, I remind them gently that day is reserved for honoring the war dead. My day is November 11th. Also, I've noticed that the word hero is being applied a little too liberally these days. Indeed, heroes in the strict sense of the word are among us today. But most of us simply served with honor and went home. My father-in-law joined the Marine Corps in 1943, 3 days after high school, Richard Kimball. And he was told by his mom when he left, he pointed his finger at me and said, "My mother said to me, do your duty." That's what she told him. And he did. Served honorably, went across the Pacific, and finally came home safely. As most of us have matured, we've developed a greater appreciation for what America represents. To live under the privilege of its flag is the highest position of opportunity and achievement ever reached by a people, such as America, such as the government, civilization, and society that grew up around the home, the schoolhouse, the town meeting, and the church. Such is the way of life that has characterized this land. Who can fail to see the hand of divinity in our history from the first shots fired at Lexington and Concord? What has it not guarded for its people in the realms of prosperity, security, liberty, opportunity, and religious consolation? Though not in perfection, it surpasses any other in all of these areas. There is a time promised of old, a faint echo of a sweet dream, where the forge will remake the plow for the purpose of tilling the fields rather than littering the land with fallen valiants, where the spear will be transformed in order to prune life-bearing trees rather than piercing the hearts of young men. Look at the sculpture to my right. Look at the sculpture. You can see the swords and the spears being drawn down under the hammer to the left. The Old Testament prophet Isaiah envisioned a time, even beyond our own, where the Lord will rule a remade world and will be free from the affliction of greed and lust for power and war. This is what Isaiah says. He will judge between the nations and settle disputes for many peoples. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. I believe that is the great hope of all mankind. Until that time, men and women will don their country's uniform and perhaps take up arms in her defense. You will turn out in appreciation as they march down the thoroughfare, a little slower each year, and yet perhaps a little prouder. And Chris and others will work to meet their needs. And we will continue to build, erect, and dedicate monuments for their sacrifice. So thank you all once again for being here. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you, Gary.
It's an honor, Chris.
It's a tradition, one of our Coast Guard veterans. There's a little bit of art, our speakers.
Oh, how special. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm told I could open this and show it to you all. I'm anxious to see it myself. Oh, an artist.
Yes, he is.
Beautiful. That's special.
Thanks, Gary. At this time, I'd like to invite up our distinguished mayor, Mayor of Virginia, Ginny DeSorza.
Well, good morning, everybody. A little chilly morning to be here today. For many veterans, Veterans Day can pass by as just a day off. But we are gathered here to do what this day truly demands, to stop, to remember, and to actively honor those who served our nation. On behalf of Greenfield, to those of you who served, thank you for everything you have done and do for our community and our nation. We owe you a debt that is impossible to fully repay, but we have a collective responsibility to try. That means more than just words of thanks once a year. It means honoring your service, caring for you and your families, and providing the support you have earned. It also means we have a duty to live up to the ideals that you fought for. The best way to honor a veteran is to be an engaged citizen, to participate in your democracy, to vote, and to build a community worthy of your sacrifice. We would not be here today without the hard work of the Upper Pioneer Valley Veterans Services District and the trustees of the Soldiers Memorial. Thank you for organizing this event, and especially for your dedication in making this new memorial a reality for our city. It will stand as a permanent testament to the services of our veterans. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you.
I want to thank the mayor. She's always been nothing but supportive to our office for anything that we need. It's good to have another mayor that supports us. But this time, so 20 years ago, the Vietnam Memorial was put up. And now it's time to unveil a new memorial. So I'd like to thank the trustees of the Soldiers Memorial Committee for their hard work and their time to get this new monument to honor those who served in wartime since Vietnam. As one of those people that served in this time, I was the first sergeant of the unit here in Greenfield. We deployed, and it was split up between Greenfield and Gardner. So we had about 70 people out of Greenfield and 70 people out of Gardner. So I'm hoping some of those soldiers that I led, or may have not liked me when I was your leader, are here. And those that have been the other wars, this memorial's for you. So I'd like to thank and introduce the trustees. Chairman, veteran Bill Phelps. The clerk, veteran Sandy McGill. Also on the committee is John Ambo, veteran, David Lewis, veteran, and our honored non-veteran, Gary Longley. Sandy?
Good morning, honored guests, military members, veterans, and citizens of Greenfield. It's certainly an honor for me to speak today. Like Chris, I was called up for the GWAT. I left Mohawk Trail Regional High School twice, once on 9/11 and one shortly in 2005. So this is important to me. Thank you to all of those who have worked so hard on the memorial from its very beginning, the trustees of the Soldiers Memorial, civilian member Gary Longley, and Veterans Chairperson Bill Phelps, Dave Lewis, John Ambo, and of course, thank you to the VSO, Chris DeMars, for his help reaching our goal. In addition, thank you to the City of Greenfield, the Greenfield DPW, Negus and Taylor for their support and the hard work of the Sheriff's Department for being sure that this area was made very presentable for all today. We thank all veterans who answered the call and stood the watch to keep us safe and free. This dedication, though, goes beyond the thank yous and the work to make this monument a reality. The ceremony honors all military men and women who have served since the Vietnam War. It is a thank you for the sacrifice they have done for all of us. This monument will stand as a testament to those coming after us as our desire to honor those who have sacrificed so much for our freedoms. Hopefully, they will be encouraged to place the same importance on this site as we do annually. At this time, I dedicate the memorial by reading the words inscribed on the monument. In grateful appreciation to all military service members who served with honor, sacrifice, and dedication in keeping our country free. Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Iraq, Bosnia, Kosovo, Afghanistan, and the war on terrorism. I ask that our committee members who worked hard for this honor for almost 2 years to unveil Greenfield's newest memorial. Thank you to all.
At this time, we're going to ask Bill to come on up, and he's going to present the wreath to the Vietnam Memorial, which this year is the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. After that, we'll have a firing salute by the Deerfield VFW, followed by taps, and then the national anthem. Firing detail.
Detail. And put. Port arm. Ready. A. A. Fire. A. Fire. And put. Freeze it. Arm.
please stand for the national anthem. In closing, I'd like to thank the following organizations. The Greenfield Band, always for supporting us. Great job. Thank you very much. Our distinguished guests, the Elks for sponsoring the Veterans Luncheons along with building bridges. The Moose Lodge will be hosting donuts and coffee after this concludes for our local veterans. The Franklin County Sheriff's Work Crew for the support and hard work each year, along with the Greenfield DPW for the cleaning of our Memorial Park twice a year. The Greenfield Police Department, Franklin County Sheriff's Office, and the Hale Clap VFW Post Honor Guards, thank you very much for being here. And a big thank you to all our veterans clubs, who, if you are a veteran, they are still looking for members. The DAV Chapter 33 of Greenfield, Post 81 American Legion of Greenfield, Hale Clap VFW Post 3295 of Deerfield, VFW Post 9874 of Northfield, and the Marine Corps League Oak Ridge Detachment 628. They do stuff for veterans all year round, not just during the holidays. So at this point, I'd like everyone to stand at attention and salute as we retire the colors. Honor Guard, retire the colors. Thank you, everybody. Have a great Veterans Day.